I remember the days where customizing Windows XP, Vista, and 7 were all the rage here on YouTube, giving your desktop that extra edge and personalization to match your setup and or theme. With Windows 10 custom themes haven't been as elaborate, there are still ways to customize your desktop, whether it's that new PC you just built or you're bringing a facelift to your current system. Here's how you can take a desktop like this and, well, customize it to your liking. My name's Adrian for Digital Dojos, and let's dive into customizing your Windows 10 desktop. First and foremost, I want to start with just the actual base desktop settings and tweaks that are part of Windows in itself. This is a really good baseline to start with customization. These are all the things that are built in. You don't need third-party utilities. A lot of this is located in if you right-click the taskbar on Windows, you have a couple options here. So for example, at the very top in the show icons, for example, by default, show Cortana, show task view, even the search bar may be active by default on your Windows taskbar. I don't use all of these things in these specific buttons, so I actually choose to hide them, and that kind of just reduces the visual clutter in terms of the taskbar in itself. From there, you can also right click and go into taskbar settings and tweak a lot of personalization options. So for example, you can choose to automatically hide the taskbar in desktop mode if you want more of a minimal look and that to be hidden unless, again, you hover over it. You can choose to use small taskbar icons, and then other useful features such as the ability to change your notification area and choose which icons appear, whether you want all of them to show or you want to selectively choose it. Or if you click here, for example, you can go ahead and do this drop down menu style if you want to kind of hide them within a menu. Additionally, you can choose which system icons appear. So for example, I only have volume and clock. Outside of that, I turn off everything else as I don't need it cluttering that bottom section. Again, go through these settings, be sure to check it out. You can go into other options here such as themes by default to adjust things like Windows dark mode, your cursor, things that are already default in Windows 10 just to kind of get you started and get rid of some common annoyances within Windows. Next up, let's talk wallpapers, because after all, that tends to be the focal point of your actual desktop. Of course, you can download images that you like and use that to customize your experience and the overall theme of your setup. However, there's a lot of different options out there. So if I go into my tabs here, I have a couple things that I want to recommend. First and foremost, of course, you can find an image that works for you. A couple resources that I would actually recommend checking out are resources like Reddit, for example. There's actually subreddits dedicated to specific wallpapers. So for example, I have an ultra wide display and I can use widescreen r/widescreen wallpaper to find specific wallpapers for my monitor. There's also sites like Unsplash.com, which allow you to find really high quality images within certain themes and just cool images in general that you can go ahead and cycle through. You can even download their desktop app to get new wallpapers refreshed on your desktop. So there's a lot of great resources, if not just Googling, wallpapers and things that you're interested in to set as your background. However, if you want to take it to the next level, which I'm sure you're watching this video for that very case, you can look at live animated wallpapers. First, I want to recommend RainWallpaper. This is a free alternative to the app I'm really going to be focusing on, which is Wallpaper Engine, because this is a free option that you can go ahead and check out again and check out some of their tweaks and what they have to offer in terms of live wallpapers. However, I will say the de facto standard when it comes to live or animated wallpapers tends to be Wallpaper Engine. It currently runs for $4 in the Steam marketplace. Highly recommend it. $4 for what you get out of this is just definitely worth it in my opinion. So let's jump into the app. So here we are in Wallpaper Engine. You can see I have the ability to choose a monitor that I want to change the wallpaper for, and this allows me to select from my installed wallpapers, and you can see I can choose a wallpaper and apply that live animated wallpaper. Again, this is something that just really gives that extra oomph to your desktop, and when you're not using it, if it just idle in the background, really kind of sets the mood and tone. And yes, keep in mind it does take some resources when you're running this in the background. You can, however, tweak a lot of the settings within Wallpaper Engines. For example, you can choose the quality that it runs at, the resolution that it runs at, so on and so forth, to really kind of monitor and manage your resources like your RAM and CPU that it may be using. But in terms of wallpapers, there are a ton of different options here, so I'm just going to kind of cycle through some of the ones that I have installed already. I have the Space Nebula one, and you can see all these kind of different elements in these wallpapers that really set it apart from just a standard static image and really make it different. You can get things like this which are interactive, so when I move my mouse, it has this kind of parallax effect here. Again, there's something for everyone here. If I go ahead and change wallpaper, I can adjust the actual wallpaper settings here, so I can choose to enable the LED effects or disable them, adjust the playback rate. And for example, if I want to pause the animation, I can do that too. So it's just a static image, so it's not taking up too many resources. For example, like if I'm gaming or doing stuff in the background, I can easily just pause that animation. You can also create your own wallpapers with this wallpaper editor within Wallpaper Engine, so you can animate your own kind of setups and images or scenes, and you can discover a ton. I'm talking thousands of different wallpapers out there in the Wallpaper Engine marketplace, and these are all free ones that you can go ahead and download. They all have all sorts of different themes. You can discover them based on different categories, I should say here, and just see some of your favorite creators who may be making different wallpapers that you can go ahead and click and preview, get your favorite video game character, an animated wallpaper, a car, whatever it is. They have something for everyone here on Wallpaper Engine, definitely worth the $4. Next up, another popular customization utility has to be Rainmeter. This is the kind of customization tool that's standard for Windows and allows you to do all sorts of different widgets and really tie in together a lot of themes. And this actually is used often in conjunction with things like Wallpaper Engine, which we just took a look at, to really give you totally new environments and make Windows look like and a new entire OS in itself. And people get really creative here with these Rainmeter themes, so it's really worth diving into the community and seeing what's out there. This is completely free to download. You can go ahead and download it at rainmeter.net. I would recommend checking out sources like DeviantArt for the Rainmeter gallery to see certain skins that are out there. There are some paid skins out there, but for the majority, most are free. And you can check out other sites like Visual Skins, or just search Rainmeter themes on Google or YouTube to find some that may match and what you want to take a look at. So I, for example, have Rainmeter installed here, and I'm going to go ahead and open the settings. You can see I installed just some basic themes just to kind of get started here and show you. I have some customization like Illustro and this monster cat visualizer. So for example, I have this visualizer and I can just drag this element on my desktop here, and I can place it anywhere in my desktop in relation to what I want to set up. You can install your skins here and then mess around with the different elements. So the way it works is once you install a theme, you'll have to import it, usually either in a zip file. You'll import it into this actual section here, or if you double click it, it'll open up in Rainmeter. And then you have different aspects of the theme. So for example, I download this theme called UI White right here. And if I want to add one of the widgets to my desktop after I've imported this to Rainmeter, I can go ahead and just say, for example, let's go into System here, and let's say I want to see my hard drive stats. I can double click this .ini file right here for the hard drive meter, and you can see right here it imports this widget right here, which I can then again click and drag wherever I please. If I want to remove it, I can right click it and edit the skin. Rainmeter gets really kind of deep and technical. You can really tweak things down to the text files, as you can see here, adjust and fine tune to your heart's content. So this is really just scratching the surface what I'm mentioning. There's full-on tutorials out there, and hopefully I'll get one out soon for all of you as well. If you really want to see that, hit that thumbs up button and comment down below. But you can really tweak each individual element. And so for example, if I was to drag in other elements here of this theme, I can drag in my like RAM meter here, and then I can customize this theme something to match the wallpaper. So since it's darker up here, I can put in all of these little monitoring tools. And then now at a glance on my desktop, you can see I have things like the date, the time, and then I have this visualizer here, which is another tweak that I installed called the Monster Cat Visualizer. You'll see that that visualizer goes off, so whether you're watching YouTube videos, playing Spotify, again, it adds that different element of customization and interactivity to your desktop. Again, you can really customize this out and set up some really crazy themes when it comes to Rainmeter. I'm really just scratching the surface of how I've set it up. So whether you're going for a minimal look, futuristic theme, or want to track your stats, there's so many different skins and widgets that you can download for Rainmeter. And the cool thing about it is that you don't have to just use one. You can kind of pick and choose different elements from these themes that are out there and mix and match to get the desired effect and look. Lastly, I want to wrap up by addressing some Windows utilities that are out there that kind of allow you to really customize your experience with Windows as well. Some classic ones such as RocketDock. This is a free utility that you can actually download to add that kind of Mac OS like dock to your Windows PC. And this has been free. I do believe they have a paid version, but you can download different themes for it and whatnot. But this adds this kind of dock, for example, and this gives you basic shortcuts. So if you want to remove your taskbar, for example, I can go ahead and choose to like take the taskbar, and then I can hide it. RocketDock settings, so I'll go ahead and choose to position it at the bottom, and then I now have this kind of dock-like interface as my Windows 10 desktop experience. So of course you could actually not just hide your Windows taskbar, you can disable it completely, and you would work with just RocketDock. Now RocketDock, again, is free. You can download this. I'll leave the link in the video description. Another popular company, and they've been around for a long time, is actually Stardock. Now they have a lot of paid software tweaks, so this is again something that you would look into only if you really want to get specific tweaks out there. They offer their own version of RocketDock called ObjectDock. It's a paid software for $5. It just has a little bit more features and functionality behind it. They even have something called Windows Blinds, which is a full-on customization of Windows themes. And the reason I don't really mention Windows themes nowadays is because in Windows 10, it's not as common or as popular as it was back in like the XP and even Vista and 7 days. But you can actually use apps like this that reskin your whole Windows experience. So for example, change the taskbar, it'll change the Windows Explorer, it'll change some of the icons. So if you really want a true interface lift for Windows 10, you can check out apps like, again, Windows Blinds. They have all sorts of other apps here like Start 10 to customize your actual start menu experience, because that was a huge pain for a lot of people with Windows 10, and all sorts of other ones that you can check out here. Again, these are all paid, nothing more than $20 for the most part on all of these apps. Some of them go for a little bit more, but it's worth checking out if you really want to customize to the 10th degree. All that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video and have now gotten a better idea of how you can customize your Windows 10 experience to your liking and see some of the options out there. With that, be sure to check out the links all down below to get references to the apps I mentioned. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed, subscribe for more content to come, and as always, thanks for watching.